determined, just going through the early stages of their warm-up. Obviously, it's all structured. The sports scientists will be across this. The manager's watching. You can see all the coaches are watching, but it is the sports scientists here who will take control of this part of the build. It's not going to be too excessive to start off with. It's a gradual build-up to being absolutely flat out once they start with the balls.
Do you know what, Clive? I've got a burning question that I want to ask you, but really quickly before I do, just a little reminder, if you do want to get involved at home, we're live on Spurs Play, on YouTube, on TikTok. Get your questions in and we'll take as many of your questions as possible. We've got Sandro coming to join us a little bit later on. We've got Graham Roberts coming to join us a little bit later on. So feel free to fire through as many questions as you can and we'll try and get through as many as we can over the course of the training session.
And don't forget on that Ben, fans, you have got a gateway here to someone who coached in one of the best periods this club's ever had. So and not only let alone played, but coached, did this in that Champions League squad.
I was going to say, Miles,
I would take advantage of that, fans.
Milesy, there were some unbelievable players
Clive,
in that group.
Clive, with the other week on Off the Shelf, Peter Crouch said that he was injured for a session.
You'll love this.
He was injured for a session, and Harry said to him, "Why don't you just come out and watch?" And so he took him out to watch, and he said halfway through the session, he just turned and looked at Crouchy and just said, "Are you seeing this? Like, are you seeing what we've got in front of us?"
Crouchy goes, Harry says to him, "Crouchy, this is ridiculous, isn't it?"
Well, because at the time that would have been Luca, that would have been Rafa. That would have been Ledley, it would have been Dawes, it would have been Aaron Lennon, Jermaine Defoe, Gareth Bale. Like, it was an obscene group, really, wasn't it?
It was a group of such quality. That was the thing. So with that quality, the standards were so very, very high. And if you fell short of those standards, you almost didn't participate. You didn't become part of the group. It was a high demand of the highest level.
The other thing that you're noticing straight away here, so two things that jumped out at me. Are these groups selected before you go out? You know what your training group is going to be, and how is that done, and why is that done in these kind of groups, Clive?
Well, this will be further down the line, obviously into the small-sided games and the possession-based games that they're going to play. And I tell you what, even when you're sitting in the dressing room there and those bibs are being handed out, you're looking at the players that are in your team,
am I getting?
Because you know that you want a good team, because especially when you're closing down, when you're having to work to get the ball back, but when you get the ball back, you need to keep it. So my money's on the Reds at the moment.
Yeah,
I've looked at it.
do you know what's fascinating as well is that this is probably the perfect timing to be doing an open training session, because it would maybe one of the first sessions that we've had absolutely everyone out there, Milesy, because we had so many injuries.
And this is what I'm saying. I mean, the people in here today, you know, and just worth mentioning, actually, this was a One Hotspur membership day today, so memberships are available. Yeah, but I mean, you know, you're so here today. Look, you've got fans behind the goal there who are watching these goalkeepers work, doing a proper training session. Vicario, he's one of the finds of the Premier League. So he'll be in most top 3 best goalkeepers in the Premier League at the moment. Yeah, and we've got fans behind the goal. We were 20 yards away watching him work. I mean, it's great access.
Obviously, I know Rob Birch very well. He played in the development squad that won the league for me. Fabulous goalkeeper, and has taken on the career now, a top goalkeeping coach. But you just see the way the boys are working. They've started gradually, but now the footwork is really clean, quick, crisp. Everything is to do with dealing with the ball as well with their feet, but then their reactions, shots going in, getting their positions right, making sure their angles are right. And it's good to see. The crowd are enjoying it, especially if there's balls going in the back of the net. There's a first cheer. Yeah, they don't want to see the goalkeepers conceding goals.
And so Birchie said his plan here is to score goals. He is. That's what he's doing. He's trying to score goals because he wants this to be match. You know, this is match intensity he's talking about here.
Milesy, this is probably the only time I'll say this during this session, but you've got far better insight into this than Clive. As a goalkeeper yourself, you could actually talk us through it. I'm enjoying having a little look. Yeah.
Well, I've got to say, it's really interesting. I always, as a coach, got on with the goalkeeping coaches, and Hans Segers, who was goalkeeping coach when I was here, we used to talk regularly. what did you think of the goalkeeper's position on Saturday if they conceded a goal? And I said, well, for me, he was slightly out of position. And he said, you're right, as a goalkeeping coach. And I said, well, my job throughout my career was to score against goalkeepers. So if someone was slightly out of position, I'd take advantage of that. And we used to converse regularly, and he always used to say, it's good to get that view and that insight. Because
Clive's right, there's no better unity than between, and it sounds strange, but within a group of the same club, between the goalkeeper and the strikers, because they can tell each other stories. So, for instance, if you imagine a striker breaks through the offside trap.
That was right. Absolutely sensational save. He's touched that onto the post. Birchie thinks he's fired that into the corner. And Vicario's got fingertips to push it onto the post. Magnificent save. Now they're trying to shift him around, move the position and his positioning.
And it's all about clean hands and not what he wants clean hands here, because he doesn't want to pop it out for a striker to come in and finish it. Anyway, what I was saying, that if you're a striker and you break through one-on-one, right, and you're in goal, you would say, say the striker looks to go round you, you can read it and grab it. Clive might say, I'll tell you what, in that position, the best strikers are going to look to make the decision early, and they're going to slot it. And he can tell our goalkeeper that. So next time that situation, I always used to say to strikers, when you go through one-on-one on a goalkeeper, if you're going to go round him, go wide. Go wide of him, because he can't reach you. If you just go a touch wide of him, keeper's all over you. He'll smother you. Go wide of him. All he can do is bring you down. He just go wide and pop it into
You really notice that though with Vic, when he comes out so quickly, and he spreads himself so well that strikers have a real time. I mean, I always go back to the Chelsea game. I always go back to that game. I saw it so close up.
I mean, obviously Clive will tell us better, but I'm not being funny, right? If you've got someone like Vic or Fraser sprinting out at you, I mean, you've got to be some sort of brave striker to want to go and get involved with that.
Absolutely, and you have to have great confidence in your touch and the way you manipulate the ball and change the angle. You can see the way that they're working. They're shifting the ball into different areas. So that is to shift the goalkeeper, his footwork, where he gets set when Birchie actually makes the strike. You'll see it here. Plays into the goalkeeper, has to deal with it with his feet. Played out, and now Birchie will shift the ball. Goes to the side, has to get to the near post to cover it. Comes back, shot, ricochet. Poor touch from Birchie, bad left foot. Birchie! Needs to be tighter with that left foot controlled as the goalkeeping coach.
Take over, Clive. You should be doing the finishing here. Just whilst we're watching the goalkeepers, thank you so much to everyone that's already chucking their questions in. We had so many questions for already.
We need these questions, Ben.
So, just on the big screen, we had Radio Dragusin and a question from Scarfo on YouTube who says, when do you think he'll make his debut as a starter in the first 11, Clive?
Well, I'm sure the manager is looking at the way he's developing within the squad. He's understanding with the other, obviously, defenders. It won't just be other central defenders, it will be the other defenders. And I think the small parts that he's played so far has been really positive. He's come into games where we've had to close games out, and you can see he's competitive. He's come in and he showed no fear, which I think is really important. I still think there's a fabulous option that all three central defenders could start.
And that's what Ange has done in closing out a couple of games,
hasn't he? Yeah. And what have you made of that, Miles? When we've gone to the three, how has it changed things?
I just think, I mean, you are almost accepting that you're going to be under a bit of pressure. I think you've got to do it game by game. I don't think you can sort of, you're not going to say before the game, OK, we're going to bring him on with 5 minutes to go and go through at the back. You've got to see what the game's doing. I think he's such a unit, isn't he? And I'm actually looking forward to seeing him play. When will that be? I don't know, because look, if we're playing 4 at the back, we ain't shifting Kuti and Mickey Ari, let's be honest. So it'd be interesting. But this is what we want. We build this squad for options. Yeah, and that's what we've got now.
It's one of my favourite clips I've seen on any of the social channels this season is after Radu joins, he's just doing some work with the bands alongside Rishi. And Rishi sort of tugs it a bit, and then Radu just he nearly yanks him over. You thought, God, what an absolute unit that's just joined this football club. He's so strong, but also very quick as well, which is a really crucial part of our defence, because you almost see one defender is going to step out and attack the ball, the other is going to drop in behind and do the sweeper job. That
I mean, if you look at all the things that Ange wants in a centre back, you want pace, obviously, but you want to be able to play, read the game intelligence, confidence, bravery. Look, we haven't seen enough of him to tick all those boxes as we see it, but I'm sure he's got all of those, as he wouldn't be here, Ben. So. Yeah, so he just looks such a formidable opponent. That looks a formidable defender. Sorry.
What you'll see now is that having had that sort of that gentle build-up with possession of the ball, lots of touches of the ball to start the session, they're now going to go into a passing drill, which will they will rack up again. It will become more serious in terms of the quality, the intensity, and the speed will increase dramatically. And you'll see it now. The players know, obviously the coaches are going to be explaining, but the players know, and they very, very quickly take it on board as what's required and the quality and the level.
Clive. This is my worst nightmare. I used to train as a kid. Going through this bit and hoping that you don't mess it up first time is always so...
Surfaces they played on as well were very, very difficult, very heavy.
Clive, can I just add something in there?
That team won the first 11 games, and no Spurs team has done that.
Am I right in saying there's pictures along here as you go towards where the first team sort of all come out? There's a picture, isn't there, of the pitch covered in hay to keep the pitch warm, to make sure that
stop the frost.
So it doesn't freeze.
So, I mean, there's one slight difference, and then they're coming out to an absolute carpet, aren't they?
They would never have played on a bowling green like we have now. No. The pitches are perfect.
That's why it's always frightening what that double team could have done on a pitch like this.
Absolutely. I remember well, obviously, the last game. The honour of going out first, and my cousin Paul followed me and my father followed me, and he stood alongside me. And what'd you say to your dad, who's played on White Hart Lane? It was obviously going and moving here, and I didn't know what to say to him. And I said, I bet you'd have loved to play on this pitch, Dad, wouldn't you? And he looked at me and he went, yeah, I would. And I was crying. I just did not know what to say.
Yeah,
you're talking about
amazing.
But you're talking about training techniques, though. Bill Nick was properly ahead of the game, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
I mean, he took him to the Bolshoi Ballet when they went out into Moscow. All the stretching and the finesse
the strength
of the ballet
was a big thing that he wanted.
Who was there was a world's strongest man, a weightlifter. He brought in to do the weights. I can't remember his name.
And they did plyometrics. They were jumping, everything, doing explosive things that probably no other team were doing. They were super fit. They were super talented as well, and obviously played in conditions that were very, very difficult. So you can't take anything away from that team.
Now, one of the things that a lot of people watching on will be wondering is, do the young players get the opportunity to come and train with the first team?
Yeah,
now,
all the time.
You spoke with Simon Davis this week, Academy Director. Just give us a little insight into how often we're seeing the players from the 21s, from the under 18s coming and joining in with the first team.
Yeah, I mean, look, especially with players out in recent months, that's certainly been the case. We've seen the lads on the bench, Iago Santiago, Alfie Dorrington, Jamie Donnelly. We've seen them all on the bench, haven't we? Jamie's played today. I think Max Robson's out there today. There he is over there. So he's with the group today.
Young Mikey Moore has also been involved. He's been across, and that I cannot tell you how much an incentive that is for the academy, for the young players to see the opportunity to go across and train with the first team group. And also just to measure themselves as to what the level needs to be. Right, we've got a really small-sided possession now where
Just how
again,
tight is this in
your
there?
team give it,
intensity,
your team give it away, and you have to go in the middle. You have to chase. So the Whites giving the ball away are now in. Can they get it back as quickly as they can? It's short, it's sharp, and it's really intense.
Clive, a great opportunity here for us to also get a quick look at Giovanni Lo Celso and Ryan Sessegnon. Both seem to be moving okay and both back in with the group.
Yeah, you can see that they're up to speed, which is a great thing to see. That's what the manager's looking at. He's looking at players coming back from injury. He's looking at the levels of players that have been playing regularly. Do they look fatigued? At the moment, you can see this is a really high intensity period of the session.
I always kind of thought of Radu as an absolute unit, like I said earlier on, an incredible shape. When you see him up close, he really is going to be a formidable opponent for a lot of strikers in the league, isn't he?
Well, you can see he's a physical specimen, but also he's a technician, and they have to be. Players of this day and age, whatever position they play in, they have to be able to deal with the ball. This is almost the whole squad that are involved in this session, but you can see how quick and sharp they have to be, passing, moving, controlling, and the awareness of what's going on around them.
And I guess the other thing is, Marzi, that we're looking at not just our technical players in this who are able to manage it. Every single player needs to have the ability and the intensity to do this in this group.
That's why they're in Ange's squad, Ben. And I mean, they have to be able to do this. And when we get on the front foot in games, this is the football that Ange wants to play, isn't it? He wants it quick, and that's got to be all over the pitch. So, yeah, 100%. And it's great news out there, though, isn't it? We're only missing Manor now. Manor's the only one who's not out there. And that's fantastic news, right? So, yeah, happy days, good days. Fingers crossed.
Go on, Clive.
No, I was just trying to explain what the idea of the session is as well, in respect of one of the colours keeping the ball, making those short, sharp passes very quickly. 2 or 3 passes. The Reds now got to make 2 or 3 passes, maybe 5, and then it's transferred. So when they've made their passes, they then feed it to the other team on the other side. So on that occasion, given away, so the Reds have to go in. They've given the ball away. They have to go in. The Whites now working it, and the Whites are. So there'll be some arguments for sure, but Ryan's just sent the Reds back, and the Whites now have possession again. They need to make the passes.
Clive.
Quick, sharp, and then the opportunity is to play across. There it is. Give it to the Reds. You've achieved what you're trying, the aim.
This is what I'm saying, insight. This is a man who's been out there.
One of the things that we've seen this season is we're a side that turns the ball over very, very high, but we're also a side that can get caught out in possession when we're trying to grow. I guess this session kind of helps both ways.
Absolutely, Ben. This is a classic example of in possession how quickly you can move it. If you lose it, how quickly within seconds you have to engage and go and try and win it back. And you can see that's exactly what every player is having to buy into here. And you see the manager, he's standing there, arms folded, watching every single pass, every single player.
But not shouting. He's not a shouter.
No, he's not saying anything, but he's absorbing everything that's going on.
And is that normal, Clive? I mean, there's so many different ways you can manage a side. There's so many different ways that you can kind of work with a team. But is it quite a normal thing to let your coaches run the sessions and for you to take a step back? Yeah, I think so. More so maybe in the modern era. Harry was one who would let us coach, and it was something that, you know, we enjoyed because we know we're driving the session, but Harry's there overseeing everything we've done. All right, we can bring in another. This guy wasn't a commotion behind the cameras. Yeah. Okay, here, bring him in. Here you come. Sanjo's coming in to join us. Perfect timing. Sanjo, so good to see you, my man. Good to see you. So good to see you. Where I stay? In the middle. Exactly. Well, right in the middle of the park where you should be. Welcome. What a pleasure to have you here today. Just tell us, how special is it to see this group working in this environment?
Yes, it's so special, man, to see how happy they are and to be here with the fans. I always love to be next to the fans, and today is the day to have that connection with the fans and enjoy.
Do you know, one of the things, Sanjo, straight away, you can feel on the ground how hard they're working.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you can
yeah.
feel the intensity. It sort of comes through the floor. Clive can't help himself. He's gone
Clive's in.
straight to get involved.
Oh,
look
at that.
Straight to the coach.
Nice, man.
Sandro, we were talking earlier about you mentioned it there, the togetherness in this squad.
Yeah.
How important is that? How far does that take you? You don't go and win in San Siro without togetherness, do
Yeah,
you?
exactly. As a team, we have to have the connection, and I think this squad have that connection.
Absolutely. That's what a session like this is building. The understanding of moving the ball quickly, and also when you lose the ball, how quickly you can win it back.
Yeah,
Collectively, you have to.
exactly.
If one goes and press and no one helps behind, they play round you.
Gone.
It's
Gone.
difficult.
Sandro,
Yeah.
what was Clive like as a coach?
I always
Now,
said,
come on,
no,
be
really,
honest.
no. It's not just because he's in front of the camera. I always said, I love you. I love your exercises. Because as a midfielder, he took me every day to do the practice of shooting. And I always said, I know how to shoot from the long distance just because of the practice every day.
So that
And-
that goal against Chelsea,
Chelsea, United, eh?
Fabulous
He
shot.
didn't say that at the time.
We've worked on it for 6 years.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all.
it was a great group, though. Tell us about your group, the teammates that you had, the players that you played with. Was the training high intensity there?
I love that group. I always said that. I did the interview with Dawson, and we was talking about that.
You're
the
still close
connection
now,
as
aren't you, all of you?
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. And was a great group as a player as well. You know, Modric, and the level was there as well. But as we are talking about the connection, and we love each other, and I think we show that in the pitch as well.
So let's have a look at them training now. Can you talk us through the Brazilian boys, your lads? You must love watching them out here.
Of course, man, of course. And I'm proud. I always said that I want to see Brazilian players at Tottenham. So, and when they do well, I'm so like, wow, look at that.
And I mean, Richie at the moment, he's flying, he's scoring goals. He looks so confident.
Yes, yes. But I always said as well that we need to give him time, you know, and all of he passed, and now he's showing that he can be here for many years, and he got the level.
Is there a natural connection when you come from Brazil to play in London, and you have other Brazilians in the squad? You feel a natural
Of course.
connection and a sense of home.
Yeah, yeah. You need that as well, because we South America we need to feel the love, you know. And I think the fans give Richarlison the love that he needed as well. And of course, to come in the team, that it's already one Brazilian is so easy. Like me when Gomes was here.
Yeah, absolutely. What a man, what a man. And Mousy, you can see at the moment that the Southern American, the Latin American boys, they have a really close-knit group.
Always 100%, always together, and they all vibe off each other. And then, I mean, you think what it's like when Brazil and Argentina play each other, but at Spurs,
Yeah.
everyone is together.
Yeah.
I just can't get over the intensity of this, Sandro.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it you know? What's it like to be out in the middle of that? Like, it takes your breath away when you're so
You
close.
have to be fit, man. You have to be fit. Otherwise, you can't play.
Is it like this level of intensity every day, or as you get closer to the games, you slow down a little?
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us, what does the week look like when you have a game on Saturday?
Yeah, you have to start the week not so strong because we had a day off. So the first day of the week, it's
Warm
not
down, isn't it?
warm
Yeah.
down a
Yeah.
little bit. And after you got middle week, you have to go hard. And after that, you just will slow down a little bit for the game. But it's still, the intensity is still there, but it's shorter.
Just less time.
So
yeah.
is today the day where if you want to play on the weekend, obviously you need to be good all week, but is today the day when it is most intense, 2 days before the game?
No, today is the day that you need to go down.
You need to start, start to cool down a little.
To think about the game, you know?
Yeah.
And you see the intensity of the training, but it will be shorter.
Right.
It will be shorter.
Yeah,
Otherwise...
Because this is scary. If this is slowing down, me and you would last about 2 minutes, Miles.
Ben, that was probably the fastest and the most intense part of the session. Now they're broken off. You can see front players have gone to one end of the stadium. The defenders are going to work now, and this will be collectively as a group with the goalkeeper behind against midfield players who will attack. And the strikers will be honing their finishing.
Wait,
so
no.
I'm going up that end.
No,
Is that
strikers
right?
are this end. Clive, strikers are this end. We've got front row seats. This is brilliant. So this is the best bit, right? When you're getting to see this forward line. And what's amazing, I don't know if you guys can see this. You might not be able to see this on TV, but the players are actually lining up in their positions, and you can see across the line of the goal. You've got your sort of attack-minded creators in the middle. You've got Sonny and Timo out wide on the left. You've got Brennan and Dayan out wide on the right, and then you've got your central midfielders feeding the ball in as well. But just look at that, Marzi. Look at that line-up there across the edge. What a lineup of talent that is.
Yeah, loving it. Yeah, I mean, this is, again, I imagine, this is replicating match situations, isn't it? And looking at what they want to do and how we know how they want to attack. They want to get the byline. They want to cut the ball back and then finish it. And this is just putting them in that match situations now.
This is something, Clive, that we see in games all the time. Us looking to try and create this move.
Yeah.
So a feed inside into the middle and then a pass in between the right and left back.
Yeah, it's players understanding the position they're in. What are the options when the ball comes to them? And then obviously in certain areas of the field, certainly from the wide areas, the quality of the cross and the runs from forward players and midfield players attacking the crosses. So midfield players playing forward, set from Richarlison, Kulusevski's cross, chance for Richarlison.
How many of those goals have we seen this season, Clive? So many.
It's
many.
repetition, it's knowing. And the thing is for me now, finishing, that's what you're looking for. Gil there, wonderful finish.
Be
calm,
clinical.
clear,
Everything.
But every time there's a chance, you need to score.
Yeah.
So Sandro, when these drills are taking place, are you jealous that you have to be further back? Did you used to get jealous because you're further back, so you can't get in there and shoot?
No, I need to be worrying of if they lose the ball, I need to control, you know?
Yes.
And I always need to be
disciplined.
Prepared. Yeah.
Disciplined, prepared.
Yeah.
What is going to happen? I need to check, you know, and be ready to kill.
Yeah.
So don't give the opportunity for them to.
So that's having a really good game management, understanding his role, understanding that although we're attacking, that there is also the defensive responsibility. So that takes great discipline.
Clive,
this man had that.
Also, I love the way he just phrased it. Be ready to kill.
Always.
Kill the game. Kill the game. That's
Kill
what
the
you
game,
mean.
of course, I love to do that.
We had a question from Ashley on YouTube. Ashley Harmon says, can you ask Sandro which one player from this team would you like to have played with?
Just one?
Just one. Only one.
It's so hard. It's many of them.
By the way, can you imagine him and Romero in the same team?
Oh my God!
Too many suspensions.
Do you know what?
It's hard to say just one name. It's so hard, but Sonny, Madsen, Richarlison, Romero.
Imagine playing with Mickey. He's so fast as well. Always covered at the back.
Sandro, let me ask you about one player though. A young player who is really getting stronger. Papsa scored at the week. What are you seeing? What are you seeing from him?
Papsa, I love watching him because he gave everything. Like he's a midfielder that I love to watch because when in the end he's still giving 100%, you know, and I love to watch him. Because he's always ready to kill, to attack, box to box, and
Does he remind you a little bit? He reminds me a little bit of JJ. Just the way he glides everywhere, so fit.
Well, yeah,
can do everything. Do everything.
But I think he can because JJ on defending, he was more attacking, on my opinion, and Sa can attack and defend in the same level. It's like crazy.
He's another one that reads the game very well. You see his positioning, his movement. When he's defending, often you'll see him make difficult things look very easy.
Yeah, and he don't do too many fouls, you know. He's so clever. He's so ready, focusing on what he's doing. And yes, I'm so happy that we got him. And I think in the middle, I love all the players. And Bentancur is back. Bizuma, Robieg.
One final one to you, Sandro, because I'm aware there's a million people who want to meet you out here. But there is such a incredible technique level from these central midfielders, and they're required to play in very tight spaces. What do you need in order to handle that pressure?
I think Madison, in what are you saying, Madison is the best.
Yeah.
To play in this more tighter, and he can receive the ball and can dribble very. He can, I don't know, he can do the magical thing, you know, and he can go and do one pass and one assist, one difficult. I think when the game it starts to be difficult, you have to give the Madison the ball, and he can.
That's a gift.
He can do
gift, huh?
what are you saying? When the game is tight, he can
find a way out.
This is great to have in the team.
Sandro, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
My friend. It's a pleasure, always.
Absolute legend.
Always.
Thank you, Sandro.
Thank you.
We'll see you again very soon.
Thank you.
Right, we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave Sandro and Clive just to catch up very quickly, but we're gonna go over to Matt Tarr, who's with some more of our lovely fans.
Yes. So can I first say, the mention earlier of Romero and that guy who just walked past me, Sandro, in the same team. Unbelievable. I would love to see it, Ben. So good. Great shout. Well, I'm just out by training on the East Stand, and I'm going to catch up now with a few fans who have got a very special view today. Let me come down here into the away dugout. Now, I don't think fans have ever watched training from the away dugout, but guys, you were getting the first experience. First of all, what are your names?
I'm Tom.
And I'm Richard.
So Tom and Richard, what has it been like so far watching training, watching Ange and the team on the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium pitch from this away dugout?
It's been brilliant, yeah. It's just amazing how they're playing. Yeah, it's just been brilliant.
Yeah, and for yourself?
We're unbelievably lucky. I mean, to be this close, watching them train right up close and just there. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Of course. Now, you guys are here in the away dugout because you won a competition as part of our One Hotspur membership, which is fantastic. Have you been to other events across the season as part of the One Hotspur membership?
Well, we come when we can and see a match. So we'll be here on Saturday cheering the Spurs on against Wolves. But, you know, we just love that we can be here today and be so close to the action.
Absolutely. Now, I've heard every time Richarlison scores, there is a ripple of noise around this place. Have you guys been excited to see Richarlison out here today?
Yeah, it's been really cool because Richarlison's one of my favourite players. So.
Is he? What's it been like seeing him score goal after goal in training? Because he does this every single day. You know, we're so used to it. But for you, seeing this for the first time, what's it like?
Yeah, it's brilliant because I've seen Richarlison, I think, score one goal ever, and it was a pretty good goal. I think it was against. I've forgotten who it was against, but it was in like the 97th minute, and he scored a winner. It was, yeah, he's pretty brilliant.
Pretty special. Obviously, Ange is out here for the very first time leading training. What is it like for you to see Ange at work?
Well, we all love Big Ange, don't we? And what he's doing to this club and for football generally. I mean, the excitement that he's brought to the team, the excitement for the fans. But I think the main thing I'm taking from this, there's loads of kids here today, like Tom, who play a lot of football. And this is just inspiring for them, isn't it? It's really, really cool for them to see the coaching being done up close, but it's going to make them go away, all the kids that play football, and be even more committed, be even more inspired to do what they do.
Listen, I love that. That is fantastic words. I don't want to distract you guys too much more, but congratulations to everyone here in the Way dugout for winning the competition. I hope you enjoy the rest of training, and I'm going to throw back to you, Ben, and Milesy.
What a couple of absolute stars. Some amazing fans down there. Some fantastic fans. I mean, we're so lucky in terms of the way that the players have been supported out here today. You can hear with every goal, it doesn't matter what type of goal it is, still get a round of applause and a big cheer. It's lovely. Clive, just before I go on to get you to run us through this session, I just want to ask Milesy. DH on YouTube says, recently we've heard about the positive vibe in the dressing room and I love it. Could you tell me who is the loudest person in the group?
I mean, I'm obviously not in there, but from what I'm seeing, Biss is right up there in terms of. I mean, did you
so
see?
Much energy.
Did you see them?
So good.
Madder's little post the other day. You know, what is it? He's only been back a few hours. That one, and yeah, he's great. He's great. There's some big characters in there. I mean, Madder's himself, obviously, Richie. Yeah, there's a big. But if I had to pick one, I go with Biss. Yeah, he's proper. He's a proper right in the middle of the dressing room type of guy.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, like you said, a lot of big characters, a lot of players that don't sort of back down from any challenge. But that's 100%. A really lovely competitive group to have, isn't it?
100%. You look through the spine of the team, and Clive will tell you how important this is. We've got Vicario, big character. You need that as a goalkeeper. You've got Romero, who literally is not going to, you know, he'd foul his mum on the edge of the box. He would, though. Bentancur, honestly, as, you know, another South American player playing in the centre of the mid. And then, you know, Sonny in his own way has got that sort of steely determination, and Richie obviously as well. So you've got that sort of strength of character right through the middle of the team at the moment.
Personalities, big personalities who can impact the team with the way that they play. I think that really is... It's so important, and they lead by example in what they do, what they give to the team. Yeah, there's some big characters, but there's some fabulous personalities.
Should we bring in another big character? Let's get him in.
The biggest
character going. In comes Graham Roberts. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, Robbo. How are you doing, my friend?
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Pleasure,
and
mate.
it's great to see you. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. I'm still alive, so that's the main thing.
And just tell us what it's like. We were talking earlier on about the differences in training and how things compare and what is the same and what isn't quite the same. What are you noticing today?
When we trained, the pitch wasn't as good as this. So that
made our touch better.
It did. But you can see the pace. You know, everything's fast, you know, in our day it was sort of not that fast, put it that way. But, you know, it's the same things that you go through. But you know, it's just better quality at the moment because of better pitches.
But you would, I mean, look, Graham Roberts, age 25.
I'd be up that end.
Walks, yeah, but you walk, you know, you in your prime walks out there and you're part of it, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, maybe that's just evolution of football,
to be honest, it's brilliant to be here, you know, and watching some of the things they do. It's the pace of it, you know, nothing. You can see how it became Ange Ball. Everything's quick, sharp, you know, and it's short sessions. It's not long. Like we used to train and we'd do a thing sort of for about 45, 50 minutes, where this is done for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but it's quality. And that's what you get.
I was listening to an interview with Keith Birkinshaw the other day, and he was talking about how much he wanted the side to play the football that the fans would enjoy. Definitely feels like there's some similarities with this current setup at the moment.
Yeah, because if you've got people like Osvaldo Ardiles, Glenn Hoddle, Mickey Hazard, Graham Roberts. No, if you had them sort of players, Stevie Pearman, everybody, you know, they were very, very good footballers. Clive Allen, you know.
You were all footballers,
yeah,
Robbo,
but
weren't you?
Clive wouldn't have come to Tottenham Hotspur. I expect he would have, but, you know, if we want a good footballing side, you know, he wouldn't go to, you know, and Keith brought it up that way, but also Peter Shreves. Peter Shreves was a big influence, you know, in training. It was keep the ball low, bump, sharp stuff. You know,
did you like that? Did you like the fact that you've got
because you've got to buy into it, Robbo, haven't you?
You've got to. And the thing about it is, like, you know, when we played, I used to train how I played.
Yeah.
So I used to be the first pick on every team.
So you know those little teams.
I was in there.
Robbo, you wanted Robbo on your team.
Definitely. Because like people say, yeah, but you've got to be careful, but you can't. You have to take what you're going to do into a game on a Saturday and
Train how you play, Robbo.
Train and you know, if you kick somebody, you kick somebody. It was just accidental.
Part of it.
I didn't mean to.
You and Cuti Romero cut from the same club.
Yes. I think I might have been a bit worse than him, to be honest.
So we've got at the moment, we've got the group just sort of going through some shooting, going through some penalties, going through some free kicks. You suddenly realise just how special the ball striking is, don't you?
It's amazing.
So it's clean, it's crisp.
Unbelievable.
You can see it's all about the first touch, which sets them up to then strike, and then it's hitting the target.
Do you know,
again, it's that repetition.
What I've seen today is Sessegnon back.
Lo Celso
back.
We've got one out, Robbo, Manor, and that's it.
You know, and people are writing us off and all that. I look at this squad now and I go, wow. Wow.
There's so much depth there, isn't
you know,
there?
What you're looking at, Robbo, is competition for places in every department.
Position now.
Every department.
Like me personally, Sessegnon, he needs to have a good season.
Does, yeah.
You know, he has 3 games.
I'll take for himself as much as anything,
for himself, to get his confidence back. You know, go back to what you did at Fulham. How good was he at Fulham?
Phenomenal.
Go back and go, what was I doing there that I'm not doing here?
I think this system really suits him.
Yeah.
I think this is a system where he'll get a lot of joy because we've seen Milesy this year in terms of our fullbacks. This is just, it must be a dream. If you're a fullback that's been used to playing defence, and then suddenly the manager says to you, by the way, you can pop up in centre forward if you want.
Yeah, he just got a licence.
Incredible.
You've got a licence to go, haven't you?
Like me, I love him. I think Udogie is amazing player. Amazing player because he knows how to read the game. He knows where to be. You know, if he's there, next minute he's back there.
But you play with fullbacks who love bombing, like Chrissy and
Chrissy
and Danny Thomas, people like that.
Stevie P loved to go forward. Stevie P's first thought was, if I get the ball, I'm giving it to Glenn Hoddle.
And that's mindset.
You know, and then I'm going on behind, so I know I'm going to get it.
Yeah, that's mindset that starts with Bill Nick.
100%. 100% is,
Get
you know,
forward.
we lost it. We lost
Play
it.
forward.
We lost it for 2, 3 years, 4 years. We lost it. We lost our stature of the game, what we're about, and we got the man now. He's brought it back to us. So,
a couple of the guys that aren't out there today, Pedro and Destiny. Hopefully, it's just something short term. We see him back out of the weekend.
Pedro, I'm not sure about Pedro.
But flu or something.
He was in early.
Or
He was in early. I saw him coming in early.
There you go. Exclusive from Clive.
I'm guessing
Love that.
You know,
just doing a bit of work on his own.
Yeah.
I saw him in the bar.
I guess though, like as you were saying, with the current depth and the current rotation possibilities, someone like Emerson Royale, who was phenomenal for about 6 weeks, and I mean he had this great run at centre back. You sort of think that he's probably desperate for an opportunity.
It just never lets you down. This is what squads are made out of. This is the best thing about this group is that I once did a pre-match with Ange, and I had to write down the players who were out